Well, guys, we took this thing out and absolutely flogged it. Things were not really going so good. We had a major overflow on our catch can, and then when we saw how much was actually going into the catch can, we realized, holy crap, this thing has a lot of blow-by. We had a number of enrichment issues, not only with the methanol. Oh no. Oh. We just found something that our reference was down. So if we're making 16 pounds of boost, our fuel pressure was going up 16 pounds. But if we lost our reference, we're now going down 16 pounds. So what that is a 32 pound of pressure change, which is a massive difference in the fueling, which could have explained what I was experiencing. Some of the guys from That Racing channel drifting over next door just did a quick little blurb, and we're having some problems.
Wasn't happy.
It just was not happy at all. And I did do a big nasty burnout there for a little while, and this engine has definitely taken a massive beating. The fact that we won Holly LS Fest burnout contest, major feather in our cap, super happy with that. But we've had a number of different enrichment issues off and on. So some of that stuff was related to the methanol, and we had a solenoid down here that it went bad, and we weren't getting the flow through that when the methanol was coming on. So
let's save this for you.
You sound really happy to. Yeah, that's very watery. A lot more watery than I actually thought. So right now we're just checking the plugs. We're gonna do a leak down and a compression test, just make sure everything is okay with old Uncle Sam. All right, so midpoint through that we had checked the oil, and that's actually not bad. Not too bad. Not milky there, so that's a plus. Pretty sure we don't have any sort of head gasket problem. It's just that we hope the rings are okay and ring lands and all that.
When it dumped that catch can out on the side of the track, it was kind of worrisome that there was a head gasket issue.
Yeah.
So that looks like a milkshake.
Yeah, and we don't want boys in the yard either.
The E85 will do that sometimes.
Yeah, there's so much water in E85 that you really do have to change your oil more frequently. And quite frankly, I mean, the life of Uncle Sam is it gets backed in and backed out just about daily, and oftentimes doesn't get the temperature. So there gets to be a lot of water in that fuel. And then it gets beaten within an inch of its life, rinse and repeat.
You should just get insurance on it. We'll just start taking it to lunch every day.
Part of me almost wants to put a 5.3 in here and just see what we can turn it up to. Monster heads, monster cams, see what we can do.
Would that be aluminum 5.3 or iron?
I'd probably go aluminum, honestly. All right, so I had to interrupt your flogging Molly.
I had to turn my music off.
All right, so here, give us a status report here. You're on the 5th cylinder. And what do we got so far here?
1, 3, 5, and 7 are on the paper, and they're all right around 140, except for 7 is 150.
Which is quite the opposite of what we might normally expect, honestly.
Well, we have 3 that are low instead of 1 that's low.
Yeah, I guess you could look at it that way.
All right, do you want to
perennial optimist there? Yeah.
You want to hit the key? Do 5 bumps on it. We're at 150 again.
So we've done compression tests before and seen a lot of little mixed stuff here and there. So we are going to do a leak down as well to really try and understand to the next degree.
Doing a compression test on one of these motors at operating temperature is rather difficult.
Yeah, yeah.
157.
All right, all right. Pretty close to the same.
152.
All right, so one more cylinder. Seems fairly uniform.
Leak down on the 3 cylinders on that side there low first.
I guess so. All right, so we had 3 cylinders that were down on the compression test. How do they look on the leak down?
First one was one of our low ones. Didn't look bad. It was like 25%.
Ooh.
I'm like, let me go see what a good one is. So I go to the good one, it's 20%. So I come up to one of the other low ones, it's 20%. And then I come up to the middle one, and I was like, let me go get Jeremy.
Oh, man.
We're like 45, 50% on this one.
Oh, geez.
And it's audible through the exhaust.
Oh.
I went ahead and loosened up the rockers just to make sure that we have no pressure. Been playing around with top dead center. I was using the little, you know, fancy feeler gauge, and actually I used the plastic where it was a little bit better.
Yeah.
To feel the piston to make sure I was all the way up, and it's still 50%. 45%.
Jeez. But we cannot have Uncle Sam down for that long. We've really been trying to use him a little bit more here, and right as we're getting ready to get into that swing of things, this happens. So we're gonna have to tear it down. I mean, we might need to look into a backup motor. So
Just want to run it a little bit longer and send it.
oh,
Just a
man.
leak down.
I think you should put it on the dyno and see what kind of power it's down, you know. But you listen to these. Oh, Earl.
You hear it back there?
Yeah, and there's oil on the exhaust tip, which I did not see that earlier. Jeez. Yep, on that side too. I know we have an X pipe and all that, but still. Oh, friggin' crap! All right, so we literally at the fork in the road time right now. I did not think that this was gonna go like this. I was always hoping for the best. You know, I'm like a perennial optimist. So we were just kind of kicking around some ideas. What's gonna have to change if we go with a 5.3. So as you were saying, you would have to pin the balancer.
Yeah. If we're using this balancer, we lose the keyway on the 5.3 crank, so we have to pin that. Flex plate does stay the same as a 6-bolt.
And we can't run these heads on a 5.3, so we talked about that a little early, if that was the worst case.
That was the plan. We'd do like the ICT adapters, like what my truck has.
Or we can possibly contact Magnuson and get the bottom. So this has a rectangular LS3 style port on it. We would have to go to the cathedral port. This has a really large valve. It will not allow the valve to go down without scalloping the block, which would be interesting to do. You know, the thing that we just discussed before we got right back on here was, if it's something that you can hear in the exhaust, potentially that is encouraging, because maybe the piston's fine. Maybe it's a burnt valve. Like, I personally never experienced that. Burnt from nitrous, but yeah.
I saw your burnout picture from Texas, and I thought this thing was coming back hurt.
Yeah.
If it wasn't going to burn a valve, if it was going to burn a valve, it would have been them.
And who knows, it might honestly could have happened then, because we had some sort of weird, crazy backfire, and we never found out what that was.
Yeah.
And it just kept on trucking. I was like, all right.
Have we had it back on the dyno since then?
No. This thing has lived a rough life. Yeah, I think you're right. I think we should pull the head, see what we can do here, and then find out what is the next mode of operation. You guys, and we'll tear it down and see what the deal is.
That clean bill of health was not a check.
Yeah, it's not a check. Well, we got this thing back together here, and we have some good news and bad news. Got our axles in, so Cater Tot should be runnable and drivable. However, I just got back, and the guys are like, hey, it's kind of making a funny noise. So I haven't heard it yet. Let's see what this is about. Last thing is all clutch business, so I'm not excited about this, but I'm not getting it.
It only happens when you let out the clutch, so.
Probably go backside.
Yeah, you're going over.
Make sure it's in neutral.
Yeah, that was adequate.
Fixed itself. Love it when that happens. It's like, no, you know what? I'm fine.
Well, I mean, was it like a rattly?
It was like a growl.
Yeah, if your brakes are metal to metal, just kind of like a.
Yeah. Well, like.
Like.
Yeah. I mean.
So like. It's like.
Wow. Yeah, I got like.
But it's good now.
I got like hormonal large mountain cat out of that, but.
That's pretty much Okay. That's what I was going for.
Launching the second gear and all that, we've had this thing. We've seen lots of sparks coming out, the bell housing and all that, and I wouldn't be surprised, but I got lucky. Thank God for that
Hopefully.
one. Yeah, hopefully. We'll go outside here. And
Just
Take it for a little spin, see what it does. It's in neutral. Good, dude.
Okay.
Self-fixed. I can fix my way up out of here. Moment of truth. Uncle Sam has lost compression in 3 cylinders.
Well, hasn't lost. It was low down, and it was leaking down out the exhaust. Well,
As far as we can tell.
only one way for it to go out the exhaust is the exhaust valve. Look how much room there is up here when you take the whole cowling off.
Yeah, we should just leave that off. Jeremy said no, but I mean, there's 3 of us. We should all get a vote. All right, here goes nothing. Keep your eyes peeled. See if you see anything crazy. Hopefully, it comes right off like this.
Dun dun dun. This is just clean my tools. So let's get exhaust on this guy.
I mean,
doesn't look bad. Alright, you know what you gotta try now is the liquid test.
ultimate test. Let's start here at the end.
So that one was at 20% leak down according to the way our tool was set up.
This is the...
I'm actually getting a little bit of seepage there. Alright.
So this was the rough one, right?
Yep. Nope. There it is.
Oh, that one's leaking, boy.
Alright, so this thing may have gotten hot and actually sucked those valves in a little bit and tulip like a flower.
Oh man, we just need some valves. Valve job. This one's bone dry, just how it's supposed to be.
Alright guys.
I was pretty nervous.
So that'd be good news to give Jeremy, right?
Yeah.
Our ballast just went out and now it's like everything is...
Instead of Mission Impossible, it's Porting Impossible with LS George. We had a little bit of an issue with Uncle Sam. Don't really know exactly what. We're guessing we probably just kind of bent the valves a little bit, sucked them up a little bit.
Either bent them or tulipped them. So we're going to find that out a little bit later when we take those to the machine shop. We'll do that tomorrow. Dude, we've had a week, brother.
Long week.
We've had a long, crazy week.
Thursday.
Look, this was your idea. Hey, we should probably port them. And I was like, they're really a good head as is.
Yeah,
I mean, these are Texas Speeds as cast. I don't even how big are these things, dude?
They're like really nice.
Like 295s or something gigantic. But anyway, gigantic PRC heads from Texas Speed. They really are a fantastic cylinder head right out of the box. But how can we improve on them? Give us a couple little things real quick here because we bounced a couple ideas off, and you and I agreed.
Not that there's anything wrong with them,
right?
Because literally out of the box, they're like, a ported head. So, but I mean, same stuff we got. Well, you see, they have CNC valve guides already, so that's really nice. because it's already done. I mean, same thing as always, just a little bit of bowl blend, touching up a little bit of spots that, you know.
Wanted to rough it up a little bit though, as far as like see if we can get it to, you get that little air pillow of the roughed up cylinder head rather than the smooth port. But on the short side of the exhaust.
Short side of the exhaust was the part that needed a little TLC.
Guys, you can see all the way through that right there. I'm gonna try and see if I can hold this right. And that is, I can literally see that I know that that flows better than what it did. So right here, yeah, you've already touched on that guy right there.
I did all.
Oh, you did all of them already? Okay, so yeah, there was a little bit of an area right there that we...
a little bit of a lip.
Yeah, wanted to fix that transition. Hard to say, but if you would have hit that, there would have been a sunken in area and you wouldn't have seen it shiny. That's why I'm trying to say it's hard to it's hard to articulate. Yeah. I can see that it flows well. You know, that when you say it like that, it makes me
trust
sound
me,
good.
It does.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, it's right here. I can see that the transition is smooth because I know the bit of what we're using. If there were a pocket there, you would have the black area that you'd be missing. In other words, that sounds
kind of like
better.
how this is like
yeah, you can kind of see the idea a little bit right there.
yeah, stuff like that where it's kind of like a deeper pocket, and some stuff you're not going to hit because if you're not trying to clean it because you're going to dig into a place that you don't need to be digging into.
I was thinking about it a little longer, and I was like, you know, maybe we should raise the roof on the exhaust, just like about a little skosh, you know.
Yeah.
It is, and again, this is a great flowing cylinder head. This is honestly one of the best cylinder heads you could possibly buy. Truly.
Yeah, it's sick for sure.
I just gotta see if you make it better. You know. I don't think it's a problem. I think it's a.
We're gonna have to resurface them, obviously, because we got those O-ring head gaskets, so we'll have to get a new set of those.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Combustion chamber is real nice. This is like nice and rounded off and smooth. Everything's smooth.
Yeah, it's beautiful around the valves. I mean, dude, how can you get any better than that?
Yeah,
honestly,
like, awesome.
Really, really good. The moment we're not going to change the motor, we're just going to fix this problem and throw it back together. But we want to make it a little bit better while it's off. So this was the perfect opportunity to do so. Just wanted to keep you guys up to date on that. Let's see. Are you doing that on purpose, pal?
Oh, my little.
It's like kind of you're doing the
retainers in there.
Yeah.
No, they just get stuck in there all the time. Oh, here's one here. Better. Here we go. Trying to fill them all in so it gives me a nice, strong cushion.
I've got my kin here, helping out, doing some stuff on the shop. We changed the oil, dropped the tranny fluid here.
Oil looked normal, E85 a little bit.
Dude, Cater Todd has had a rough life. When we last broke it, there was a crazy noise. We thought that there was, yeah, I mean, there was definitely clutch noise when we replaced all that. We thought there was a problem. We checked that out.
We drained the fluid, ran no big chunks, so that's a good thing. Ran a magnet in it. These are actually metal pieces off of the magnet. Looked at the fluid coming out. We're like, oh, that looks okay. And then I started doing the little slosh test, and I was like, it's got some glisten to it.
And this was really clean before?
Yeah, Christian went and brake cleaned this out and wiped it out with a rag.
It's kind of bass boat sparkly. Okay. Yeah, it's like you can kind of see. It's hard to get in the GoPro. Hopefully you guys can see that.
Yeah, just bass boat. You know what a bass boat looks like? Looks like a bass boat. Fill it back up with some fresh fluid and see what happens next.
Yeah, pretty much.
Regular diff, we can't just pull the cover off and inspect it.
Yeah.
This is pull the trans, tear the trans down.
Until we have bigger problems, I think we'd just say send it.
Just don't want one wheel peel and just try to turn. A
car with a welded diff, it moves in a certain way, and it just, the inside tire doesn't go at the same speed as the outside tire, and it's so hard to push around. And we recently had a problem. So that's really what this all stems from. We thought that, hey, we broke it. Plus the sound, that's what made sense. Liza, you wanted to take a look at the valves. We were literally just talking with George about this, and maybe you can try and articulate what a two-lipped valve is. What happens? So we've had an enrichment issue. We would have had an exceptional amount of heat. Tell us what's going on.
155 pounds of seat pressure when the valve's closed. When it's open, the spring's 400 pounds of pressure. So you got 400 pounds of pressure, and that's max open, and then it's slamming closed with the RPM. And when you heat up metal and start slamming it around, what's that, the blacksmith?
Pretty much, yeah, yeah. And I mean, if we exceed our normal temperature, I mean, we got good pistons in it, so the pistons seem to be able to take it, at least for a short little while. But I mean, this is almost like our fusible link.
Yeah.
Cheaper than a piston.
But when you got this coming back up in the hole and it comes up and this is hot and malleable,
yeah,
it's gonna kind of make a cone shape and start to pull itself up into the seat more. So if the seats are in good shape, this does that. That's kind of what they do. A tulip. You get a little tulip flower.
That was cute.
The flower?
I was about to say that.
One thing we can do is check the outer diameter. So if one has tuliped, it's going to be smaller than the one that hasn't.
Yeah.
And then also overall length, if one has tuliped, it's going to be longer than one that hasn't.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. So I mean, we're talking in thousandths of an inch, and unfortunately we already mixed up our valves, which is a small problem, so we'll have to get a good average, but we'll check them all.
We only put the fuel in 3, I believe, maybe 4, but you can tell these guys have been recently wet and these are dry. So I have a feeling these are the head that we didn't do.
Okay.
And I think these ones we had fuel sitting on them.
Gotcha. So
all the exhaust valves are running 1.600 to 1.601. Got to this guy, which is kind of black. He's kind of got coloration there.
Got a little, yeah.
What'd you say? We're looking at like 2,000.
Yeah, it's 3,000ths of an inch right there. All right, again, real quick here. Let's see it from the other angle. So if we go 90 degrees one way versus the other, I'm just kind of curious.
You're saying rotating it?
Yeah, because it's got to be oval one way.
Why would you say that?
I don't know. Just to
why would you think it'd be oval?
You know, maybe it's an optical illusion, but it seemed oval to me.
Okay. You got egg valves.
Tulip eggs. Thank God, it could have been a lot worse, and I'm definitely glad that it's just a valve. And like I said, it's kind of like a fusible link in a way, rather than the big old nasty. That would not be good. We have to tear down and be without a 427 for a while.
5.3 in here,
I still like the idea. I still do like the idea. Maybe save the 427 for another project. Who knows?
Something fast.
Maybe. Hell, I think we could still make this thing really, really fast if we put a power glide in it. Tell me what you guys think. All right, guys, I got my butt kicked today here on something, and I wanted to share a little lesson that I just learned here. Something that is kind of kicked around a couple times, and all of a sudden this time it actually was what I thought. Well, we just changed the pulley on this supercharger kit. This is a C7, and we went from a 4-inch to a 3.8. We should have gained a couple pounds of boost. However, we're still not making the power. As we can see right here, we're making 546 horsepower on our base pull right there with this pulley setup. So we should be achieving somewhere in the neighborhood of 8.5 pounds of boost or so, and we're getting about 7. So we looked and went over all the couplers, no leak, checked any possible boost leak area, and did not find one. Well, the reference for our blow-off valve was actually right here. This is coming off the back of the engine right here. This does go to the back right there. However, we did a pull. We pulled off this little filter right here on our blow-off valve and found out that a lot of boost was escaping right through that guy right there. So that being said, we decided, hey, look, we have to change this reference here. Otherwise, that is going to stay open, so we are losing boost. Once we got that closed up, we changed our reference point to this part of the intake manifold, so we know 100% that it's not convoluted, it is true and pure, and we instantly went from that to this. About 1.5 pounds of boost right there, and went from 546 to 590. That does require a little bit of tuning because it was spark knocking. The same thing can be said pretty much with a turbo and where you reference your turbo, you know. So this was an interesting lesson, and it definitely took Laz and I a little while to figure it out, but hopefully helps you guys in the future here. Make sure, check that your blow-off valve or bypass valve is zeroed out. Now we have done some stuff on the LSA superchargers, making sure that that is shut, because you can lose a little bit of boost with that. Getting that dialed in, you can pick up a little bit of boost. Sometimes it's a lot. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. That is a major weight off of my shoulders. I was really stressing that Uncle Sam was gonna have some issues and we'd have to do a motor swap. Still like the idea. I'd like to hear you guys' comments on that. Here is the problem. If we enter Uncle Sam in for a burnout competition, I don't really feel totally comfortable it's gonna last a 4-minute flogging like a lot of these cars don't make it through some of these burnout competitions. Now, if it's a 90 seconds or less, I definitely feel that Uncle Sam could take that no problem. But I just plain can't afford to blow a 427 in a burnout competition. Maybe pull the 427, just have it as a backup. I still feel like we can make at least 800 wheel on a 5.3 turned up on this Magnuson 2650. Absolutely rip and do everything that we still need to be able to do. So guys, I wanted to say thank you so very much for your support, and please check out our shirt that we got, this one right here. It looks amazing in person. You guys have absolutely killed it with these orders, and we're definitely going to have to put in a reorder here because we've almost sold out of these. Also, please check out our store. We got hats, t-shirts, stickers, lanyards. All the support that you guys give us really helps us keep on trucking, so thank you so very much for that. Also wanted to remind you guys, many of you have come back and said, hey, I've been unsubscribed from YouTube and my notifications been turned off, and I've actually seen that still kind of taking place with the subscriptions. Do please check that. Also, you guys can follow us on Instagram at Fasterproms. Sometimes we have some previews of what we're going to do, and we do have some giveaways that are going to be coming up very, very shortly next couple videos. Wanted to leave you guys with a quote. The sheep will spend its entire life fearing the wolf, only to be eaten by the shepherd. Song I want to leave you guys with here, this is a totally different one. Not normally my style here, but I totally dig this song, and it's definitely, you know, if you ever really loved a woman here, she'll probably appreciate it if you played it for her here. That's Jason Derulo, Trumpets. Hope you guys enjoy. God bless you. Have a wonderful weekend.
Yeah.